recently, Eric Holder said, when they go low, we kick them. And of course, he was talking about the Republicans doing gutter politics and how the Democrats shouldn't just try to be above the fray and honorable and holier than thou. They should fight back and fight aggressively. Well, Hannity reacted to this, and he pretended like Eric Holder is actually advocating for violence because he's a liar. And we're going to splice that, or Media Matters, I should say, splice that clip with what Hannity said in response to Ted Nugent doing what may be actual threats. He said that Obama and Hillary should suck on his machine gun. Whoa. Okay, you're going to see how he reacts depending on partisan politics. Take a look.
We kick them. Really? This is the top cop under Barack Obama from Hope and Change to kick him on the ground?
I was in Chicago. I said, hey, Obama, you might want to suck on one of these, you punk. You don't get that. Obama, he's a piece of shit. I told him to suck on my machine gun. Let's hear for him. And then I was in New York. I said, hey, Hillary, you might want to ride one of these into the sunset and work with.
That was friend and frequent guest on the program, Ted Nugent, expressing his feelings towards Democratic presidential contenders Barack Obama and Hillary Rodham Clinton. Something horrible's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
And these so-called leaders are literally adding fuel to the fire. And it is a mob they're inciting.
Are you prepared to disavow this low life?
No, I like Ted Nugent. He's a friend of mine.
You do?
But he's a rock star. And if you don't like that, here's my point. Here's my point. If you don't like it, don't go to the concert. Don't buy his new albums. I didn't ask you that question. I can't believe you're defending this. Here's my question. I want to know, Barack Obama accused our troops of killing civilians and air raiding villages. What is more offensive to you? Which statement?
Because I know the context in which Obama said this Nugent is more offensive. This guy ought to be knocked off the air. He ought to never come on your show again. And if you have him on, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Not at all.
He's a bum.
So Holder saying when they go low, we kick them. He's pretending like, oh, advocating violence. Oh, I cannot believe that. But when Ted Nugent said, suck on my machine gun, Hillary ride one of these into the sunset, he was like, yeah, he's a friend of mine. It's totally fine. And then he tried to say back then, like, oh, what's more offensive, what Ted Nugent said or when Obama said our troops killed civilians? Yeah, what Obama said is just factually correct. Are you trying to say that U.S. soldiers have not killed civilians? That is the most ahistorical, dumb statement I've ever heard in my life. It's so funny because he's like, he pretends to be like a truth teller, but that is nothing but the best example of a feelings over facts guy I've ever heard. Like, it doesn't make me comfortable to think that our soldiers may have at times killed civilians, so I'm gonna say it's not true and be offended by it. Grow up, man. Grow the fuck up. Unbelievable. But this is the type of hack that Hannity is, and I feel like it's important to share it because you gotta expose guys like this. Listen, man, the best example always was and always will be how Hannity flipped on NSA spying. Under George W. Bush, he called it this program to protect us, and it's to protect the nation, and we have to stop the terrorists, and you're weak on terror if you don't support NSA spying and the Patriot Act. Under Barack Obama, same fucking program. He goes on to say, oh my God, this is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. This is unreasonable search and seizure. The government shouldn't have the ability to get all your metadata like this. It's unbelievable. It's big government. It's a giant overreach. Now, I agree with what Hannity said under Obama, but that was also the case under Bush. So in other words, I said this is against the Fourth Amendment, this is unconstitutional, and you shouldn't be for the Patriot Act. I said it under Bush and Obama because I'm fucking consistent and issues-oriented because I actually care about this shit. He is just a rank partisan actor, and that example proves it more than any example I've ever seen, but this one is close as well.
We know that you're against the NSA data mining. We know that you're against the NSA surveillance program. So the question is, where does the Democratic Party, what will you do if you're elected to power to make our country safer in the war on terror? Specifically, what will your party support? Your party brags about killing the Patriot Act. You don't want the NSA surveillance. You don't want data mining. We have Pat Leahy saying that he doesn't want a NSA surveillance program. Nancy Pelosi, the woman who'd love to be speaker, she's against the NSA surveillance program.
Yeah, sure.
You mentioned that, and you mentioned the very specific things, the Patriot Act, the NSA surveillance program. The party that's weak on national defense, that doesn't want the Patriot Act, the NSA program, the data mining program. Is it right to say that, for example, on issues involving national security, be it the NSA surveillance program, the data mining program, the Patriot Act, Guantanamo Bay, that Democrats are weak on issues involving national security? And our techniques are working. We've got the NSA program here. We've got the Patriot Act program here. You know, in light of this, how close this was, it's staggering to me that we're even debating the use of these techniques in this country, even at this time. Big Brother is monitoring your every move, whether it be online or on the telephone. Let's talk about why this story, why is this important to you? Number one, this is America, and as law-abiding American citizens, you have a right to privacy. Number two, these actions by the Obama administration are a clear, very clear violation of the Fourth Amendment, which prohibits unreasonable search and seizure. Number three, the Constitution. It is our rule of law. If we do not respect and honor the Constitution, then anarchy and tyranny will there follow.